Everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's fine. No, 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 no!
Darkness falls. A storm brews in the distance. Inside a dusty attic, a pair of beady eyes glint in the shadows. Then, clap, clap. The sound of tiny cymbals crashing together shatters the silence. Welcome to The Monkey, Netflix's latest horror offering.
You wouldn't happen to remember if my aunt had a wind-up toy monkey at the yard sale?
Oh, not a cherished childhood memory now, was it?
A chilling adaptation of Stephen King's terrifying short story. This isn't just another haunted toy movie. The monkey creeps under your skin.
The coroner said it was an accident, but it was no accident. It was a monkey.
Digging into the deepest fears of childhood nostalgia turned nightmare. But does it deliver the terror promised? Or is it just another jump scare-ridden attempt to cash in on King's name? Let's dive into the shadows and find out. A family cursed.
Hello, brother.
Bill.
The monkey that likes killing our family. It's back.
At the heart of The Monkey lies a deeply unsettling tale of fate, family, and fear. Twin brothers Hal and Bill Shelburne, played by Theo James, the White Lotus, grow up under the shadow of an inexplicable, malevolent force. A toy monkey with a pair of tiny cymbals that holds a horrifying power. Every time the monkey's hands slam its cymbals together, death follows. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't warn. It simply takes. As children, the twins were tormented by the grisly pattern of loss surrounding them. First, a pet dies. Then a neighbor. Then someone closer. No one believes them when they say it's the monkey. Desperate, they attempt to destroy it, tossing it down a well and burying the horror of their past. Or so they think. Fast forward 25 years, and the brothers are forced to face the nightmare again. The monkey has returned, grinning that same sinister grin, waiting to continue its deadly game. This time, it's no longer a childhood horror. It's an inescapable curse. The deaths begin anew, and the brothers must confront not only the relentless supernatural force, but also their own traumatic past. The cursed monkey, while undeniably a terrifying presence, is more than just an instrument of horror. It represents the inescapable nature of fate, the idea that no matter how far you run, the past will always catch up. It's a chilling metaphor for inherited trauma, for the sins of the father haunting the next generation. As the brothers struggle to rid themselves of the curse once and for all, they're not just fighting a monster. They're battling their own legacy of fear and loss. A dance of horror and dark comedy.
The toy monkey?
It's evil. It's basically the devil.
Everybody died.
The film doesn't shy away from embracing black comedy in its gruesome deaths, whether it's bowling balls crushing skulls, shotgun blasts tearing through bodies, or intestines being yanked taut by unexpected harpoons. The monkey delights in absurd carnage. The over-the-top violence is reminiscent of Final Destination, but rather than just shocking its audience, it winks at them, reveling in its dark sense of humor. This tonal balance of horror and grotesque amusement makes the film primed for midnight screenings. At times, The Monkey teeters between its horror roots and a self-aware satire of the genre, leaving audiences unsure whether to scream or chuckle. Director Osgood Perkins, known for his slow-burn horror approach, Gretel and Hansel, injects moments of macabre levity, ensuring that the film remains engaging beyond just its scares. However, the film isn't comedic enough to fully lean into satire, nor does it deeply explore the emotional weight of its characters' dilemmas. It lands somewhere in between, flirting with nihilism, but never quite committing to it. Fear beyond the jump scares. The monkey doesn't rely on cheap horror tricks. Instead, it builds dread, letting fear fester in the quiet moments. The horror isn't just in the killings, it's in the anticipation. You know the cymbals will crash. You know someone will die. The true terror lies in the waiting. The moment the key is turned, a dreadful silence falls over the scene. each tick of the winding mechanism a pulse of unease. When the cymbals finally smash together, it's not just the sound that sends shivers down your spine. It's the finality of fate being sealed. The cinematography is hauntingly effective. Shadows stretch unnaturally. The monkey's lifeless eyes seem to follow the characters, and the sound design is impeccable. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind outside, it all adds to the suffocating tension. The use of dim lighting, tight close-ups, and long, drawn-out takes amplifies the paranoia, making even the simplest moments feel like a prelude to horror. But what makes The Monkey truly terrifying is its psychological depth. The film forces us to confront the inevitability of death, much like the cursed toy itself. This isn't just a story about a haunted object, it's about the psychological toll of waiting for doom, the helplessness of knowing you're next, but not knowing when. It plays on a universal fear, the fear of losing control, of being unable to escape one's fate, and that is what makes this movie so deeply unsettling. Such intricate genre mechanisms are fundamental to The Monkey's construction, but the film also has a heart that beats with authentic human emotion. Director Osgood Perkins brings his own tragic family history into the narrative. His father, psycho actor Anthony Perkins, died of AIDS-related pneumonia in 1992. His mother, Barry Berenson, was a passenger on a hijacked 9/11 flight. Perhaps this provoked him to grapple with a matter both profound and highly practical. How are we supposed to keep living when death is indiscriminate, inevitable, and all around? The monkey, in this sense, becomes more than just a cursed toy. It's a representation of life's cruel unpredictability. A performance to remember. The lead performances elevate the monkey beyond standard horror fare. Theo James delivers a committed performance, seamlessly portraying both Hal and Bill with distinct personalities, despite their twin origins. His portrayal of Hal, a man burdened by guilt and fear, is particularly compelling. As the years pass, we see the weight of the monkey's curse transform him into a hollowed-out shell, his paranoia driving him into isolation. Bill, on the other hand, retains his smarmy arrogance, believing he can outmaneuver fate. James plays both sides masterfully, making the brothers' dynamic one of the film's strongest emotional threads. The chemistry between them makes their bond believable, making it all the more painful when tragedy strikes. Tatiana Maslany, as their mother Lois, is underutilized, but adds a necessary emotional core in the first act. Her presence brings a sense of warmth and heartbreak, reinforcing the theme of loss and helplessness. Elijah Wood, in a surprising supporting role, injects a much-needed dose of comedic relief as the clueless new stepfather to Hal's estranged son. His performance is delightfully awkward, offering a contrast to the otherwise grim tone. The real star of the show, however, is the monkey itself. While it's just a lifeless toy, Perkins ensures that every frame it occupies is filled with a menacing energy. The monkey's unblinking stare, the eerie grinding of its mechanical parts, and that dreadful cymbal crash create an unsettling presence that lingers long after the film ends. The film revels in outlandish death scenes, blending over-the-top gore effects with bizarre situations and almost Lynchian visual gags. This mix of humor and horror creates one of the most unique movie-going experiences of the year. Does it stick the landing? Horror fans will appreciate The Monkey for its commitment to dread over cheap thrills. But does it stick the landing? Without spoiling too much, let's just say it leaves you unsettled. The final act spirals into pure nightmare fuel, with a climax that will have you questioning whether the curse can ever be broken. However, the film has its flaws. Its characters feel thinly drawn, making it hard to invest in their survival. The movie never quite plucks the heartstrings, nor does it fully commit to its comedic potential. While Perkins injects levity through absurd moments, like an inept priest fumbling a sermon or a realtor awkwardly explaining multiple deaths, it lacks the biting wit that could have elevated its humor. And despite its inventive kills, the film's nihilistic air makes it difficult to care about the characters' fates. Final verdict. Horror movies come and go, but the ones that stay with us are those that tap into something primal, something we fear but can't quite explain. The monkey does just that. It's not just about a haunted toy, it's about the inevitability of fate, the weight of trauma, and the terrifying realization that some curses can never be outrun. The film may not be perfect, it stumbles in character depth and pacing, but its eerie atmosphere and grotesque humor make it a memorable, if unsettling, experience. Long after the credits roll, you may find yourself eyeing that old childhood toy sitting on your shelf, wondering if it's always been there, or if it found its way back to you.